I'll tell you exactly what you do and what he's going to do.
All right, let's see if this plan is the same one.
You fight Floyd Mayweather for $30 million and keep the rest of the UFC on ice because you're the biggest star. Get your money. Because the route the UFC is going to have you go, it's going to be fucking rocky, man. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of tough matchups. I don't know what happens. Right now, you're Mystic Mac. You just beat Nate Diaz. Huge rematch. Hopefully, it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time. I'm sure it's going to be up there, top 5 easy. His other 3 fights are. Use that. And from what I hear from inside sources is the only reason Floyd and Conor didn't fight before, they had a venue. The teams agreed to it. I heard everything was in agreement. Money issue between Conor and Floyd, which seems to happen with Floyd a lot. Floyd thinks he deserves all the money, which is a legit argument, and then Conor thinks he deserves all the money. So they just need to come to agreement on the money. Grant, it's a circus. It's kind of, it's crazy. Even think about it, you're fighting probably the best boxer of all time. You're telling me everyone in this room wouldn't pay to watch that? You're telling me you wouldn't rather watch Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather than Conor versus Jose Aldo 2? What?
There's no combat sports event I would buy faster than that.
You and probably
and everyone.
Everyone.
And everyone. The entire United States plus Ireland.
It might break Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather.
I guarantee you it does.
And you can charge the same amount.
I guarantee you it does.
I'll also tell you this. I think it's a huge opportunity for the UFC because you're never going to have another Conor McGregor, a guy of his stature, with his swagger, with his presence that can cross over and fight arguably the best pound-for-pound boxer of all time in a freak match. Floyd Mayweather, he's at the age where he can do it right now. He's not in his prime, but he's damn good. Conor McGregor, huge star. You have this one opportunity. Why not make it happen? And obviously Dana's into money. Obviously he's into money and making ratings. You got CM Punk fighting in a couple weeks. You think? And I love CM Punk. I think the courage is taking and what he's doing is nuts. It's insane if you think about it. Is he out of his league? Probably. It's going to sell, though. They've done it before. If you now have Brock Lesnar go from WWE to here, they're obviously in it for the money, for the big names, the big tickets. This is your golden ticket. There's nothing bigger. I know people are like, oh, it's ridiculous, though. He can't beat Floyd. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck about all that. I want to see our best guy go against their best guy and make some money. Because what's it good for? The fighters. Conor will make so much money if he does that. Name another guy who could do it. Name another fighter ever in the UFC who could fight one of the pound-for-pound greatest, if not the greatest, at that weight, and we would actually pay to see it. Usually it's just a shit show. It'd just be a circus. You'd be like, I'm not paying for that. Like if you had, remember when Junior Dos Santos was the champ? If you had Junior Dos Santos, like, hey, Junior versus Vladimir Klitschko. Huh? I'm not watching that. I don't want to see that. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor? I don't know, man. It's kind of cool. Get your money. So to me, that UFC to put UFC 202 in a package, gift wrap package, it was to me the best UFC card in a long, long time. Even the undercards were dope. The Dirty Bird said main card. What? Went off on that fool. Off. They should stop that fight early.
Yeah. They
definitely should stop that fight early.
You see the picture that he posted?
No.
That Saba Hamasi posted afterwards?
No.
Dude, that cut is, you can basically see his brain.
Really?
It's bad.
They should have stopped that fight early. His coach, his corner should have probably stopped that fight early. Dirty Bird's been he got sidelined for a little bit for those tainted supplements and was just it made his blood boil, and then he unleashed the fury on that poor handsome feller though. Handsome feller. But he got murked.
Yeah.
Super murked.
Pretty good.
Second fight wasn't bad, a good fight, but then Cowboy looked fucking.
The Mike Perry against the young Gulim or whatever. Why is that guy cutting to 170? He's like 6'4".
How's he make it?
He's Asian Rumble Johnson.
For reals. How's he make it?
No idea. He's probably killing himself to get to that weight.
Can we change his name to Godzilla? hashtag no racist. And then Cowboy versus Story. Most analysts had Story winning because he's a bigger guy. 170s, they think it's tough for Cowboy. Cowboy lit that fool up like a Christmas tree and then said, oh, you're a grappler? Check this out. Took him down. Then threw a Mortal Kombat 5-piece combo to the face. To the fucking face. That kick to the face stopped him, then gets on the mic. Remember, Cowboy's already beat Eddie Alvarez at 155. And I agree with Cowboy. That should be his next fight. Cowboy's never been world champion in the UFC. He's already beat this guy. And remember, he didn't beat him. He whooped his ass. It wasn't like, it's close. No. He bully beat down his ass like it was on MTV. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He beat the shit out of him. So he's going, oh, yeah, let me fight. I'll go back to 155, get the belt, and I'll go back to 70. And remember, his contract's up with the UFC. So this is negotiating power. I bet you, knowing Cowboy, he's going to go, let me fight at 155, Eddie Alvarez, get this belt right quick, real proper. And then I'll go from there and back. I'm down to go back to 170. Because remember, Dana goes, I prefer him to stay at 170. But when you're as hot as Donald Cerrone, you have all this stuff going on, you're going to have some negotiating power. And the negotiating power is, I've already beat the champ. This is probably my best shot to be champ, by far. You look at 170, the top 5, they're tough matches. Like Wonderboy for Cowboys, tough. Woodley for Cowboys, tough. He's already murked Eddie Alvarez. And what's the one thing Cowboy doesn't have on his resume? UFC champ. I think they owe it to him. Now, obviously, the UFC doesn't give a shit about owing anyone anything. The brass doesn't. But for Cowboy, and he's close with Dana, that should be the only fight he's concerned about. Get that belt and then go to 70. Just dip out, vacate, and then go to 50, then go to 70.
Since you're just killing it in the Mystic Brown game right now, what do you think of this roadmap? So Cowboy gets the title shot against Alvarez. Now, assuming he beats him, we'll do Cowboy Alvarez. Conor goes off and fights Floyd. Get that fight out of the way. Comes back down, takes on Nate at 155. If he beats him, title shot against Cowboy.
Nah, Nate. So that I love what you're thinking. I think we skip one step. I think if Cowboy's the title holder at 55, he goes fights Floyd, comes back, fights Cowboy at 155.
And just gets the title shot right off. Because I was only doing Nate 3 there to justify a title shot at 155.
No.
Which I don't think Conor needs in the first place, which is kind of a second question for you. If Conor vacates the 45 belt, he has an instant title shot the second he decides to go back to 45. Or
100%.
Or anywhere, right?
Well, Dana said one of his goals is, or one of his options is 45, defend the belt. 55, he fights for the belt right away. So think about Conor Diaz 3. Think about the build-up down the road when he's the champ at 55. Now you're fighting for a legit belt. Because that 70 was nothing.
And he never lost the belt at 45, so you can kind of pitch the two-division champ thing.
And the trilogy's so much bigger because now you have a world championship right on the line.
Yeah.
Go boom. There you go, Joe Silva.
There you go.
You're welcome. But I don't. So you do the Cowboy Eddie Alvarez 155 fight. Conor does his thing with Floyd. It's huge. Conor's name's never been bigger. Cowboy's world champ. Conor comes back. Then you have the 155 mega fight with Cowboy.
And then he wins that. Nate gets the first shot, and you have Conor, Nate 3 for the title.
True. Or that's a tough fight for Conor against Cowboy.
Oh, yeah. It sure is. It's predicated on.
Even if he loses that, Nate says he's not fighting again unless it's against Conor. But I bet you he'll fight again if it's for 155 against Cowboy because he's already beat Cowboy. Remember that.
Yeah.